at all times. Any unattended baggage will be removed and may be destroyed by security services. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Mind the gap.
Good evening everybody, just to let you know we're going to be starting about 5 minutes late tonight. Just got a few things to do regarding getting the kids to bed and that sort of thing, and we'll be starting. We're doing the 313 today, of course, as it's release day, but we're going to be about 5 minutes or so late starting. Thank you.
Passengers are reminded that smoking is prohibited at all stations and on all train services. This includes e-cigarettes.
Hello everybody, once again, just to let you know we're going to be about 5 minutes late starting today. I'm just getting my bits and bobs together and we'll be on our way doing the 313 in today's stream. So 5 minutes, definitely no more than 5 minutes late.
This is a safety announcement. It is not permitted to cycle, skateboard or rollerblade within the station building. please remain behind the yellow line at all times. Trains pass through this station at high speed and can cause turbulence.
The camera's froze. What an excellent start to the stream. The camera has froze. We're starting late and we've got a frozen camera. Right, let's see if we can fix that. Because I know you all really want to see my face. Let's see what happens. See, we've got all the usual suspects in the chat as well. Jack Miniature Trains, how are you this evening? Maxwell, TR9 Train Spotting, William Newton. I like the stream waiting screen, Yinzar, thank you very much. I am just playing with settings trying to get this camera to work. I've got no idea why it's frozen up on me. I think we're streaming without camera. Which I am really sorry about. I think you might prefer it without the camera. You never know. Anyway, I guess what we're going to do today is jump straight into the game. And of course, it's 313 release day today. So we are, of course, going to do the 313. We're going to have a good look around the unit, have a quick run of it on the East Coastway, which has also been updated. And then we might, if we've got time, do a run on the London Commuter with it. I think there's an empty working up to Selhurst, so we're going to give that a go. Before we jump in, as always, guys, all the opinions expressed within this video are solely my own, may not reflect those of any companies I may be employed by, blah-de-blah-de-blah, and all of that good stuff. In addition to that, I have been given this unit free by Dovetail Games, but all the opinions expressed within this video are my own, and I've not been told what to say or anything like that, so I will be completely honest with you. And I know you haven't got a camera, but I promise I haven't got my fingers crossed or anything when I say that. Minty Aviation. If it's a Logitech webcam, no, it's a Streamlabs Elgato Facecam thing, Elgato Facecam. So let's take the USB out and put it back in. But while we're doing that, there we go. At least the game's working. Right, let's unplug this USB. I had this on test before we started, and it was fine. This is the joys of live streaming. So I'm told. Right, I'm just pressing some buttons, see if I can get something to work. Just talk amongst yourselves as we do this. This stream is delayed due to technical difficulties. Right, what happens when we press that one? Hey, we've got some sort of camera working. The mum cam is working. But this one has a habit of freezing up as well. Let's just have one quick go to see if we can get the other one sorted very quickly. Ah, look at that. Right, quick, while it's working. Hey, there you go, guys. We're working. We got it sorted. Right, so I've got coffee today in my Mickey Mouse cup with the R on it. Need to get some Dad Rail cups. Minty Aviation says, hi, Mum Rail. Officially, Charles, Alt F4 totally fixes it. It certainly does. Geek Motto, we're all good. We're working. Right, let's jump into the game without further delay before it breaks. So I keep getting these issues where it likes to drop out the camera. I bought a new camera because my other one was doing it, and this one's doing it as well, so I need to kind of try and fix that. So we're going to start off on the East Coastway route. We'll jump into the game, and then I'll go through the chat and see if I can't answer some of your questions. Oh, excuse me. I've just had a massive kebab. Big, dirty, fat kebab. And it's starting to repeat on me. It's just think yourself lucky you're not in the room. I think Mum Rail might leave the room in a minute. It carries on like this. Right, here we go. Right, we don't want to be there. Do you want to quit to the main menu? Yes, I do. I need to press the button that turns that off. Timetable. So now we've got the East Coast 2020, which is the original East Coastway route, or we've got the East Coastway 313, which is of course what we're going to jump into today. There we go, 313. I'm going to put it in the summer because everyone likes the summer, and leave everything as it is. And let's go. Nitrax, have you driven the 313 in real life? I haven't driven the 313 in real life. So this is going to be a little bit of an interesting experience for me. I have driven the route in real life, or most of the route in real life. I have cab ridden in a 313. I've done a bit of route learning on the Seaford line, incidentally, in a 313. So we do a Seaford to Brighton. I think that makes more sense. Then we can do a Brighton up to London. A little bit of continuity that way. 10:55, 2 Charlie 25 Seaford to Brighton. So I have had a quick look at this. I jumped in it earlier just to make sure the download file was working okay. So I've had a little play with it, but nothing too much. So there we go, guys. I'm sure you've seen it already because it's been bandied about the internet quite a lot, but I think it looks lovely. The cab looks really, really nice, and I'm told this has got AP sounds on it as well, so you know they're going to be good if they're AP sounds. Right, so first thing we need to do is put the AWS in. On. Perfect. Key on, which goes in the reverser handle on these. Into neutral. Cancel that off. We're going to put the brakes into full service for now and get some doors open, which should be that button there. So we've kind of got some sort of working GSMR on here. You can press the button to call the signalman. Or you can turn it on and off, and I think you can, call signalman. Or you can press SG, which is quite good. I suppose we better do some headlights. Marker lights, headlights on. And we'll open the window as well because, as I said, the sound should be pretty good on this. TM, can someone explain what the camshaft does on this unit? Yes. The Class 73 is also camshaft operated, and when we get going I will cover that and we'll go over that. So look at all the passengers on that. Obviously we've got the rush hour passengers implemented and they look fantastic. As does the train. We'll have a proper look around the train when we get down to Brighton, but we'll kind of just get moving for now. Lock doors. So in reality these would be operated with a conductor. It's something that would be really nice if they had that simulated. The conductor panel does work on this and you can use it properly. And someone put a video out earlier whose name I can't remember. If you're in the chat, the person, you know who I'm talking about, then post the link to your video about the conductor's panel. It's really good, really informative. Right, let's go. So, we're brakes off. Let me know if you can hear you can't hear the game at all actually, because I haven't got the game audio turned on. So all those sounds are going to waste. There we go. Let me know if you want the game audio turned up, guys, and I'll turn the game audio up a little bit for you. Horn. Who wants the horn? Right, so we're already speeding. Although in reality that speed would only apply coming into the platform, not going out of it. Let's go. So we're off to Bishopstone. A little bit of wheel slip going on there. So 73 of you lovely people in the chat so early on with all the technical difficulties and the late start. We are driving a Southern service, so that's to be expected. Not that button. Where's the declaration? All the opinions are my own. Yeah, 73 of you in the chat. Of course, if you could like and subscribe, that would be awesome. So, we're in notch 4. I'm going to go back to 1 and get some braking for Bishopstone. Brakes on these are not the best. To the extent that I'm probably about to overrun the first station, I attempt to stop that. Yeah, LNER train fan, this is a third rail unit. Obviously the 313 is dual voltage, but it's only simulated third rail on here. As far as I know, it's only simulated third rail. And they are free car units as well. Oh, well, we didn't overshoot. That's a good start. Right, into 3, full service in this, as you know I like to do. Neutral and door release. So, with regard to the camshaft, you've got 4 power notches on one of these. They're labelled 1, 2, 3, 4, but they would be known as shunt, series, parallel, and weak field. Now, if you think back to your electronics lessons at school, if you're wiring a circuit in series, you're wiring a circuit in parallel, and weak field is something to do with magnetic fields that I can't remember, but someone in the chat will know. Geek Motto, perfect stop, thank you very much. So, notch 1 in these, and if we've got anyone in the chat that signs 313s, do correct me, but I believe I'm right in saying this because it's very similar to the Class 73 locomotives. Notch 1 in these is basically shunt, it's your first notch of power. Notch 2 would be series. So in notch 2, if we go into forward, that always helps. In notch 2, your motors will be wired in full series mode. So basically you've got 750 volts being shared between all of the motors on the train. When you go into notch 3, your motors are in full parallel mode, which means you've got 750 volts being distributed to all the motors. When you go into notch 4, you go into what's called weak field. Now, weak field basically does some fancy thing with the electronics where it takes some of the windings out of the motor in order to reduce the magnetic field resistance. I believe that's correct. But what you'll notice, I'm in power notch 4. If I shut back to power notch 1, we're still accelerating at a rate of knots because the train still thinks it's in notch 4. We have to go into neutral in order to tell the cam to wind itself back to 0. So every time, basically, before you notch up again, you need to go back to 0 and you need to allow the cam time to take the train all the way back to the beginning of its cycle. It's probably a little bit easier explained with the diagram, to be fair, but basically the cam cycles through the power notches on the train. So when you open the controller, you're turning a camshaft which has contactors on it, which is then contacting the contactors are connected to the motors, blah de blah de blah. But the most important thing in terms of gameplay is you can't go from like power notch 4 to power notch 2. If you go from 4 to 2, you're still in 4. You need to go into 0, allow the cam to run back, and then back into 2. You'll also hear sometimes as you change between power notches, you might hear a pop, and basically that's the contactors and the relays in the back changing between series and parallel. So it's a little bit more involved to drive one of these, which is why I said I like driving the Class 73 so much, because the Class 73 is camshaft operated. You have resistors and stuff like that, and you have to be very careful with the way you drive it. So hopefully that's I think it's a really complicated explanation, but hopefully you kind of get what I'm saying. Yeah, Cody S. Do you want to post it in the post it in the live stream pictures page, and I'll put it up on the screen? That would be brilliant if you've got something that can explain it a little bit better than what I have. I should have done my homework. New Haven Harbour. There we go, Max. Be on the keyboard. Yeah. I've done my usual trick of not holding the button down for long enough. Never mind. We're stopped. Right, 3. Is that full service there? Neutral and doors. Well, when we get down to Brighton, we'll have a proper look around the train, and we'll sort of have a look at the guards panel and stuff like that. Night tracks, 86s and 87s are even more interesting. They use a tap charger instead. I think that's similar to the Class 73 night tracks. You've got resistor banks in there, and you can notch up and notch down between 34 power notches. So rather than going straight into full series or full parallel, you can actually notch between within the series and parallel banks, and it uses massive banks of resistors to get rid of the current, which they can then get hot and catch fire. So you try not to drive with resistors in circuit for too long. Into forward, I keep forgetting that. Right. So I'm going to go into power notch 2, we're going round to New Haven town. And it helps if you take the brakes off. East Midlands Railway fans, I can't check the DMs while I'm in the stream, unfortunately. I will check them as soon as I get an opportunity to, though. If you DM Mumrail, she's sitting right next to me, then she'll be able to relay it to me. TM, anyone heard of Dick Mabbott? Yeah, that's a really, really unfortunate name to have. Of course, it's the name carried on one of the GB Class 73-9 series. Yeah, 73-962, as Louis says. Jonathan Holmes, good evening. Right, so I'm going to remember to press the button long enough, and hopefully we can stop in the right place. What have I haven't done? I've done it again, haven't I? No, I've gone into emergency. Bad driving already. Unlock doors. Didn't do me neutral thing. Yeah, again, going into neutral when you stopped isn't necessarily essential. It's kind of down to your individual company's operating instructions. Most companies leave it to personal preference, but I prefer to go into neutral because you can take your foot off the DSD pedal then. So I'm just going to put the Discord up on the screen quickly and see if we've got nothing. It's not working. We're doing so well today. I'll see if I can fix that. Let's get going first. Any unattended baggage will be removed and may be destroyed by security services. See, has the signal behind me gone back to red? No, we're still green. That is good. Right, brakes off, forward. Good practice, wait till the brake pressure is almost released before you take power. I've gone straight into 4, but really in this you should notch up slowly, allow the cam time to come up. I think you can probably go straight into 4, but it's probably good practice just to notch up slowly because you are operating a cam-driven locomotive. Let's see if the Discord works now. Oh, 3-on-3 coming the other way. And I'm speeding because it's 35, then it goes up to 70. Beautiful. And the 66. Let's have a look, see if I've got this working. And no. We're doing really well. So we're off to South East. What have we got going on in the chat? Shut some power back. There we go. Bossman Productions. I'm sorry, how much do their parents hate them? It's definitely an unfortunate name. TR9 train spotting. Did I see your class 73 past East Croydon yesterday? What was I doing yesterday? Yes, you probably did. Joseph, do the 73.9s also use camshaft control like the older variants? No, they don't. They use something called chopper control on the motors. They sound a bit like networkers as they're powering up. If you don't listen, can't get my words out today. If you could hear over the diesel engine, the motors sound a bit like networkers powering up. Yeah, no, they have modern electronics in them. TM, I find if you go straight into notch 4, you'll get wheel slip at about 20 mile an hour. Yeah, the wheel slip is where it's changing over from parallel into weak field, so the motors are suddenly getting a massive burst of power, which is what causes the wheel slip. Now I just wonder, guys, on the heads-up display on the speedo, and I know I've put the brakes on miles too early there, you can see my power notches there. When I put the brake in, am I supposed to get some sort of brake, obviously I've got the brake cylinder pressure on the left, but am I supposed to get some sort of indicator to say I've got brakes on in there? Because it'd be quite useful to have that. Yeah, look, I've got slowed down massively early for this. Yeah, so the biggest thing when you're driving this, guys, is if you're in power notch 4 and you want to reduce it to power notch 2, you need to go into 0, leave it, you need to go into idle, leave it a few seconds, and then you can power up again to your desired notch. Yes, it's supposed to be there, okay. Yeah, I know on all the trains with combined power brake handles you get it, but it'd be very useful if you had it on ones without it as well. South East is never this busy in real life. Very unrealistic. South East is like literally in the middle of nowhere. Don't even know why there's a station there. But yeah, unrealistically busy. But looks like we got the braking right that time. Into neutral, open the doors. I think the crash test dummy thing in the middle, Bossman Production, shows how much G-force we're pulling. So you want that as close to the centre as you possibly can, really. Yeah, it looks like these 3-on-3s don't even have the pantograph on them, so they're definitely only simulated DC. Lock doors. Okay, off we go. Sim model trains. What happens if you have to pass the platform starter signal to allow your whole train to fit on the platform? Do you ring the signaller to proceed, e.g. if you're driving a double-head charter? Yeah, absolutely. If you're starting ahead of the starting signal, then you would need to phone the signalman to get permission to proceed. And we're off to Lewis. Southampton train spotted. The West Coastway from Brighton to Portsmouth would be nice in game. Yes, quite a full-on route down there as well through Shoreham and all down that way. Lots of stations and level crossings. Yes, as soon as we go into Wakefield, we get wheel slip. The sander comes on. I think as well, Dovetail have done quite a lot of routes down in the southeast, particularly. I mean, obviously that's where they're based. So I think they, you know, it might be quite nice to see some other parts of the country. I know we've got the West Cornwall coming out eventually. We have got some other parts of the country, obviously, but yeah, it'd be good to see some kind of more northern routes. I think we've got the Trans-Pennine up north, but yeah, it'd be really good to see some other routes. Love the AWS sound. It's beautiful. Mr. Crompton 33012, believe that there is a station because it required for landowner consent to line construction. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because like I say, it's literally in the middle of nowhere, so that makes perfect sense. The power handle looks like it should be pressed down to move. No. Oh, I say that. I believe that's linked to the DSD the same as the pedal is, so I'm not entirely sure, but I believe you can hold the handle down or you can hold the pedal down, so you've got a choice of one or the other. So we're coming up to Southern Junction with 40 over the junction. Notice I've got no speed markers on, which is pretty brave of me. We get a warning board for the... I want to say that's for a 60. That is for the 40 over the junction, so we go up to 60 after we go. I've driven this route this week as well, so I really should know. Right, let's get some braking for that 40. Yeah, I think JBW 456 doing the East Coast main line or the West Coast main line would be a really good shout. I think you'd have a good variety of traction that you can use on that as well. Pendolinos, are you a fan? So if you're going on train choice and you're going up north and you've got the choice of a Pendolino on the West Coast or an Azuma on the East Coast, which one do you take? So yeah, 40 across the junction up to 60. There's no point powering up really because the speed limit's going to drop back down to 40 and then 10 into the platform around the corner. Pendolino, Slothy. Azuma, LNER train fan. I can probably guess why you picked Azuma. So there we go. We're coming up to the 40. Pendolino, Azuma. It's a pretty 50-50 split. Lumo, of course. Yeah, 800s. Lumo. All for open access operators. We need more open access operators. Lumo is incredibly cheap too. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go and do a trip on Lumo at some point. It has to be done. Pendo any day. Okay, so let's take this one step further. You've got the choice of a Pendo or an HST. Pendolino or HST. I don't think there's going to be much division on this one. So we're getting down for that 10 coming into the platform. LNER train fan, open access operator is an operator that's not franchised by the government, i.e. they're a private company that have got permission to run trains on the network. Your normal companies are franchised operators, so the government basically tell them what trains they have to operate. Open access is like, it's almost like freight trains for passengers where they can pretty much within the realms of pathways and stuff do what they want to do. So it's a really good idea. They're free to compete in the market. Their fares are not dictated by the government. Their timetable's not dictated. So it's a really good kind of business model. And we're all stopped. Let's get some doors open. Of course, into neutral. Step 3. Steve Young, welcome to Dad Rail. Lock doors, off we go. Sorry, I was a bit distracted there. I was just reading something on Discord that had been posted. I'll see if I can get that sorted, the permissions on that. Would love to get some slam door units in Train Sim World 2. Yeah, definitely. Right, into forward. It's 10 miles an hour leaving here. We'll take power notch 1 because that's pretty much all we need. The West Coast Main Line is an open access operator. The East Coast Main Line has 3. The West Coast Main Line has none. I wonder, sim model trains, if that's got anything to do with capacity on the West Coast Main Line. Have we got enough... Oh, take the brakes off. Have we got enough capacity on the West Coast Main Line for an open access operator? Zale do Smogless. Never late. You got here exactly when you intended to. Oh, so cheesy. They were planning to have a Grand Central run on the West Coast Main Line between London and Blackpool. No, you're actually correct. I remember that. But then I think Virgin Train started operating a service and it kind of put an end to that, which was a shame because that would have been really good. Rafe the Train Spotter. Hi guys, I'm very late. Not at all, Rafe. Not at all. It's great to have you here. So, off we go. So I'm going to drive properly, allow the cam to come up. I'm not quite sure on what speed the cams transition at or how long you should wait, so I need to look that up really. Stop at Falmer. Cancelled because of COVID. Yeah, that's a shame. That would have been a really good service to have. Hopefully, something they can look at redoing in the future. So I don't sign this bit of the route through to Brighton, so I'm just driving it based on my previous experience on train sims. So there's bound to be some speeding somewhere. John M. Hi Richard, I'm currently in Brussels, having arrived from Cologne on board an ICE International Siemens Valero. Have you any experience with railways on the continent? I've travelled on trains in Germany and in Portugal. I've not got a massive amount of experience with railways on the continent, but it's definitely something I'd like to look into a lot more. I was planning on doing quite a bit of travelling before COVID hit, the dreaded COVID. And then of course we've had Brexit and stuff, so it's made it all a little bit difficult. But yeah, getting over to the continent and doing some more filming and just travelling around on trains over there is something I really want to do. Nationwide coin hunt. I've definitely got to be careful saying your username. Sorry I'm late, I've been sleeping. I've been sleeping too, whilst driving. It's been atrocious. Oh Richard, you'll love the Dutch trains. Yeah, I want to do the Eurostar through to Amsterdam and then kind of on from there. That'd be really good. Anthony Wilkinson, do you like Meridians? Because you said you like Voyagers. I've never actually been on a Meridian. I think they're pretty similar to Voyagers, so I expect so. Although I think the fronts look a little bit different. I can't speak today, I can't get my words out. GMAC, hi, have you driven class 37s or 47s? I'll put it like this, they are not on my traction card. That's how I'm going to answer that question. Robert Lilly, good evening. Bradstuff M, have you ever worked temporary block working or special working? No, I haven't. I was trained in temporary block working because that was the standard when I started driving, but obviously that's been removed from the rule book now. We have emergency special working, but I've never had to do that. I nearly done it once, but by the time I got to where it had been implemented, they'd fixed the signals, which was a little bit of a disappointment from a driver's perspective. But I expect the passengers were happy. So we are in the 313. That tractor's always there. Must have broken down. Should have been a Lamborghini tractor like Clarkson's Farm. Just would have been a really nice little touch. I noticed earlier, and I'm probably very late to the party with this, but I noticed at New Haven Harbour the ferry that they've got on it says Brian Ferry on the side of it, which I thought was quite good. I didn't notice that before. I wonder if anyone... I expect everyone's noticed that. But yeah, it's got Brian Ferry written on the side of it, which made me chuckle. So I'm going to put the brake on just as we go into the tunnel for Falmer. That should see us about right. Mark Castle, Dabrow, the 313s look great, just missing the wagon signs and the hideous purple the GM Fleet was painted into. I remember them when they were with Silverlink. I remember travelling on them from Clapham Junction along the West London line. Let's get a little bit more brake in there because the gradient kind of runs away with us. I'm finding it really hard to know what brake notch I'm in, which is it's a bit irritating. Falmer. I think there is one of the scenarios as well where you've got a 6-car 313. I think it's the football special. It's Coming Home or something like that. It's called. So I'm in brake step 2 there, but yeah, we're on a really steep downhill gradient here at Falmer. So yeah, brake step 3. She's coming in. She's coming in. Miles off the stop mark, but we're on the platform, so that's all that matters. Full service. Neutral. Doors. Jonathan Holmes, do you sign any of the Portsmouth line south of Woking to Guildford and haven't? No, I sign Woking down the main line to Basingstoke, then onwards to East Southampton, but I don't sign via Woking and Guildford. Random, hello, have you ever driven the East Coast main line? The most I've driven of the East Coast main line is from, I think it's Gasworks Tunnel up to Alexandra Palace. I forget the name of the junction where you go up the incline. And I've also driven in the tunnels and into King's Cross Station itself during the King's Cross renewals because I was on a ballast train up there at the time. But other than that, that's the only experience I've got driving on the East Coast Main Line. I think I've actually only ridden on the East Coast Main Line maybe 2 or 3 times. Let's get back to it. Morsecombe. Release the brakes into forward. And we're just going to take full power, which I've got to remember not to do. I should be notching it up nice and slowly. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Adam, who was your first Patreon? It could have been you. It could have been you. I can certainly have a look and tell you. If you want to support me on Patreon, ladies and gentlemen, just like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Adam does, then patreon.com/dadrail. Stefano, class 313 or 319? Yeah, I'd probably take a 319 personally. I'd quite like 319s. Maxwell, have you ever pressed the red Chaos button on the GSMR? This one here that stops all trains. Yes, I've had the requirement to press that, I think, on 2 occasions, Max. Chaos button. I like the term Chaos button. Sim model trains. How close are stop boards to be followed in real life? Yeah, that's a pretty good question. They generally like you to stop with the stop board sort of level with the driver's side drop light window. Obviously that can vary depending on what stop you're on. But if you pass the stop board you're supposed to stop at, it's not really the end of the world. Obviously the bigger problem would be stopping short of your stop board and having half the train hanging off the end of the platform. That certainly wouldn't be good. Andy, notch 1 to get going, 2 12 to 15 miles an hour, notch 3 to 25, then notch 4 is how I drive in real life. Perfect, thank you very much, Andy. I should have done my homework. That seems very harsh on the braking. Coming into Morsecombe. TM, can you explain the difference between the ST and the SG buttons on the GSMR console? Yes, I can certainly do that for you. Did you hear the door sounds on that 313? They're still not where they should be. The sounds are good, but they should kind of be off in the distance somewhere and not sort of sounding like they're on your train. But I know Dovetail have said, come on, stop please. I know Dovetail have said in some of their recent streams that they're looking for a sound engineer to kind of come on board and sort their sounds out. So I certainly look forward to that. Jack Reeves, if the stop board is at the end of the platform and you stop beyond the platform, what is the procedure? As long as you haven't gone past any signals, of course, Jack, and the first passenger doors on the platform, then you'd open the doors and hope no one noticed. Basically, if you've overshot the platform light and your first set of doors off the platform, then you need to report that to the signaller. If it's like 1 or 2 sets of doors that are off the platform, then you could manually lock those doors out, then open the doors on the remaining part of the train. However, if you've gone kind of miles past the platform, the signal will either give you permission to set back into the platform, but more often than not, they'll just tell you to carry on to the next station. Your manager will be waiting for you at the end of the journey. Right, so we're going to use notch 1 to get going. So notch 1 would be shunt, and I've gone the wrong way. Notch 2, 12 to 15 miles an hour. So that's in series. Then we're going to go up into parallel. And then when we get to 25, we'll go into weak field. Still get a bit of wheel slip there. So we're up to 55 and our next station is London Road. So when I notch down as well, I'm also going to do that nice and slowly. So again, even though I'm in 1, the train's still in 4 because the cam hasn't wound back. So I need to go into 0 in order for the cam to wind back, and then I can notch up again. South Wales Rail fan, have you ever been told off by your manager? Not told off as much, but I mean, you wouldn't get told off for having an incident as such. I mean, we're only human, we make mistakes, so it's more kind of a sort of debriefing, if you like. It's just going through the incident, analysing what happened and how you can avoid it happening again. I guess if we're stopping at London Road, we better get some brakes in. Like, have I gone into emergency there? I think I have. Full service. Yeah, you can tell I don't sign this bit of the route. I'm literally just kind of driving it. No HUD though, which is pretty good. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Avenue. Have you ever tried flying a plane? Yes, actually. I actually began doing my private pilot's license, and I had a trial lesson and started doing all my air law and meteorology modules and all that sort of thing. But it gets so expensive and real life got in the way, so I had to put that on hold. But it is on my to-do list, is to get my private pilot's license. I don't even know if I'd ever use it, but I'd just like to kind of get it to say I've got it. Andy, that slip to notch 4 isn't accurate, but for a sim this looks good. Geek Motto 13, the problem has been sorted. Fantastic, thank you very much. I'll get the Discord sorted my end, and hopefully we can get it up on the screen. Yeah, no, I'm quite impressed with this, Andy. I've only ever cab ridden in a 313. I've never driven one. But from what I know of 313s, yeah, this does look good. I should probably go into forward before releasing the brakes. And then, like I said earlier, we try not to take power until the brakes have kind of almost fully released. You don't want the train rolling back, so don't wait until they have fully released, but kind of you don't want to be taking power against the brakes. It's not good for the motors or the brakes, and it doesn't feel comfortable for the passengers. So we're 30. I can't remember what our last signal was. It was probably, yeah, AWS is clear, so... Actually, that's really bad practice, what I've just said there. I can't remember what the last signal is, but I'm going on the AWS, which I really shouldn't do. If you can't remember what the last signal is, you should slow down and prepare to stop at the next one. That would be the correct thing to do. Platform 8, 1 yellow. we go, London Road Viaduct. It does look pretty. It does look pretty. 20 going into Brighton. It's a shame, obviously they've done the updates on here, but it's a shame the sky hasn't been updated. It still looks really foggy off in the distance, which is a bit annoying. You don't see that on the London, well, I haven't noticed that on the London commuter route so much, but certainly on this it looks very foggy off in the distance. Jonathan Holmes, from a passenger point, the only thing is the lights in the passenger saloon look too bright. I noticed that on the 377, on the original East Coastway 377, but on the Brighton one they seem to have modified that, and it's much better. 15 at the platform ramps would be standard driving policy, then 10 for the TPWS loops, which of course are not simulated, unfortunately, but we'll still do it anyway. LNER train fan, what does a single flashing yellow mean? Single flashing yellow will mean that the next signal will have a static yellow with a route indicator on it. So if you are approaching a junction and you know you need to take, you need to branch off at that junction, in some cases you'll have flashing yellows before the junction to tell you that the route has been set correctly. Not fitted to all junctions. Some junctions you might just get checked down onto a red signal, but some junctions, yeah, fitted with flashing yellows. And as long as we don't hit the stops, we'll be fine. So we're going to do brake step 3, full service, neutral. We're going to set the DRA as well, because the buffer stops count as DRA. We're going to go up out the seat, open the door, and open the doors. I don't know if these buttons will work without a guards key in. Let's try it. No, they don't. Okay. So we'll have to use the cab buttons. Just there. So let's get out and have a little. Let's have a little look around the cab first. So this is very, very nicely simulated. We've got the fantastic. We have these on the Class 73s. The kind of tinted glass plastic window thing, which is as good as useless, but it works. Opening windows, of course. Does the seat tilt up? The seat doesn't tilt up by the looks of it, but never mind. There we go. What's the score? Silver medal. First run in a 313. I'll take that. Return to free roam. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've got all of our MCBs and stuff. AWS. It's all simulated really, really well. Plug socket for charging your iPad. No, of course you can't charge your iPad. We got OT. That's not the OTMR, is it? That's the passenger information system, which unfortunately doesn't work. And yeah, no, cab looks really, really good. Very pleased with that. I have, like I said, I went for a route learning trip in one of these, sitting on this seat here, and you kind of sitting in the vestibule on this seat, looking out the back. It's a bit weird to go route learning on. Let's just go into the passenger saloon. Yeah, I see what you mean about the lights. They do look a little bit on the bright side. But other than that, I mean, it's missing the graffiti and the kind of scratch bits all over the windows and everything, which comes as standard on most trains these days. But yeah, some of the lighting is, I mean, it should be a little bit darker going through there. But you want to be really critical. The floor there's a bit offish. I mean, I'm being really, really picky here. No lights in this coach at all. Yeah, glitchy. But yeah, I'm being really, really picky there. There's absolutely no need for that at all. Rafe the train spotter, what do hazards do? Rafe, the hazards, if you put your hazard lights on, I don't know if this one's fitted with them. Let's just have a quick look in the cab. I don't get stuck behind the door. Cab lights, door closed. No, we don't have hazard lights on this, so we just basically flash the lights on and off. And what you're doing when you flash the lights on and off is you're alerting any trains coming towards you that there's something wrong with the line. So if I'm driving along in my train and there's a train coming the other way with hazard lights flashing, first thing I'm going to do is chuck the emergency brakes on. It could mean that there's an obstruction further up the track. There could be a tree on the line or something. Normally now, though, if a driver sees an obstruction on the track, they're going to hit the red button on the GSMR. So you're going to get an emergency stop message come through on that before you see the train coming the other way. But of course, it's possible that their radio's failed, or it could be a number of other situations. If you see the hazard lights flashing, then chuck the emergency brakes on, contact the signaller. Yeah, let's have a quick look outside quickly. These are really good as like the guards compartment here. They used to let you put bikes and stuff in here. I doubt they let you do it now. So yeah, looking really good on the outside. I don't advise doing this in real life for obvious reasons. Yeah, really good on the detail there as well. Look at that tight lock coupler. Flies all over the front as standard. So let's just have a quick look down the side of the train. See if we can identify any of this equipment. So that's if you're in the chat, Andy, you'll be able to tell me. That looks like air suspension reservoir. Connector boxes or battery boxes. I'd say that's a brake supply reservoir, main res maybe. Oh no, that's an air compressor. But am I right in saying that's the compressor? That certainly looks like the compressor. If we go down, I'm guessing this is a transformer for the AC equipment, which is not used. That's what it looks like. And I'm looking for, on one of these coaches, I can't see it, should be an MG motor governor. You can't see the game. Oh, what a mistake to make her. Right, yeah, and I was having a quick look down the... No, I didn't put reds up as well, bad driver. Or take my key off. And I'm walking around on the track with no HV. So yeah, just kind of walking along the side of the train. It looks really well modelled underneath. So you've got your brake frame there for isolating your brakes. SAIC. Something isolating cock. Could be air suspension isolating cock, something like that. Yeah, no, really good. Really good. Like I say, Dovetail have given me this they've given me the key to play with this, which is very nice of them. But no, genuinely, it does look very nice. Is that kind of rain effects on the side? Is that because we've been out in the rain? That looks really nice though. And now I've juiced myself up. There we go. So what are we thinking of that, guys? Do we like the 313? Joanne, wrong scene. Yeah. We need a way of dinging a bell to alert Dad Rail. You certainly do. Yeah. Let's go back to the main menu. You can't see the game again. I know. It's intentional this time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the game up and I'm just going to try and fix something. Actually, I'm going to have to do that and try and fix it. Let's see if this works. Everything's going wrong today. Maybe that's a reflection of the 313's reliability. I've got no idea why that doesn't want to work today. So I'm trying to fix the Discord, guys. Try and get that up for you. Because there's a few things being posted in there that I'm sure you would like to see. Oh, that was working. Okay, right, we're getting somewhere. And if I just click on that one there, we're working. There we go. So if you're not in the Discord server already, there is a link in the description below, and you're more than welcome to pop over there and join us. Live stream picture page as well. And someone has just donated to me on, pledged to me on Patreon, so thank you very much. I get an animation, but it doesn't give me your name. But I do very much appreciate it, and I'll be in contact after the stream. Yeah, 313201. I wonder if we're going to get a reskin of the 313 to 313201. That would be really, really nice. Right, let's jump back into the game. I just want to have a look at the London commuter routes that are available for it. So let's get out of East Coastway and have a little look. I press switch route. Right, London commuter. Explore. Have we got timetabled services, or have I? Oh, we have got timetabled services on the 313. We put it in the summer with no rain. Oh, we've got quite a few timetabled services. Selhurst to Lovers Walk in different parts. Part 1, Part 2. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. I'm assuming this is something to do with not being able to change ends or something like that. I assume that's why it's been put into different parts, which is a little bit of a shame. I guess if you do scenario mode, you could change ends. But then it's telling you what to do all the time, and I don't really like that so much. I suppose we could work for all of them. Yeah, let's just do. We'll do 5 Bravo 90. We'll work for all of them and see what happens. It Springs. Hi, Dad. Hello. And we've got Mum Rail here as well. Say hello, Mum Rail.
Hi.
No, that one's frozen. That one always freezes. That's why I bought a new one, which seems to want to freeze all the time as well. We're doing well. Let's jump into the game. Begin. Drive the first part of the CCS from Selhurst to Lovers Walk. Selhurst Depot, Shunt Neck. So I've not been in Selhurst Depot at all in this game, so I've got no idea what it looks like, and I don't sign Selhurst Depot. I sign the arrivals roads, but I don't sign the depot itself. So are we required to do a full prep? It doesn't look like it because we've got power already. So let's just kind of key in. There's no hole for the key, or is that just my imagination? Oh, there is a hole for the key. It's just quite dark there. Into neutral. I'll leave that in step 1 and put the AWS in. Q. There we go. Right, so there's no starting signal, so we've got permission from the shunter to proceed. We want marker lights only. If we're shunting in the depot, we are marker lights only. There we go, markers only. No not to be moved boards on the train, no one hanging off the sides, no shore supplies connected, we are all good to go. Obviously the real life checks are a little bit more comprehensive than that, I promise. Take power notch 1. And it doesn't move, probably because it's cut out or something like that. Probably because I haven't gone into forward. That always helps. Usual mistake. Let's open the window so we can hear the motor sounds. Fat Man Fishing. Welcome to Dad Rail. Ken K34, is it true you're not allowed to drive with the cab window with cab light on? Yeah, you can drive with the cab light on if you really want to, but at night we should be doing 5 miles an hour in the depot as well, guys. That's really bad of me. If you drive at night with the cab light on, you get a lot of glare on the window, so you can't necessarily see where you're going. Same reason you don't really do it in a car. Service failure, vehicle derailed. Okay then. Somebody tell me, because obviously I don't play Train Sim World a lot, am I required to change the points manually? Because honestly, hashtag derail. That's the first time we've had a derail. I'm guessing I'm required to change the points manually. Can someone confirm or deny that for me? I'm guessing we just run through a set of points, which in real life wouldn't cause you to derail. Yes, you are. Right, we'll give it another go then. Didn't set the points. Now, in real life, you wouldn't derail. You just push through them. Where's the shunter? Dad derail. ZLT. Yeah, love it. Karma for speeding. Yeah, right. If I was downloaded and I was caught speeding and I derailed, that would be a telling off. That would definitely be a telling off. You have to do it on the next part as well. You can do it in the map. In depots, you need to change them. Blah. Crikey. We'll give it one more go. I'll just get it going as quickly as I can. We're going to break all the rules in the book now. We're going to break all the rules. Just because I want to do this. Marker lights on. Right. Right, we're breaking all the rules. Just because I want to do this. ITZ Springs, what is your favourite preserve railway? Unfortunately, I don't get out to as many preserve railways as I'd like to. My local is probably the Kent and East Sussex, which I've never been to. But I have spent a bit of time at the Spa Valley Railway filming and whatnot. Stop! Oh, just in time. Yeah, the Spa Valley Railway. So I don't really have a favourite as such, but I certainly need to go out to more preserve railways. So I've got my HV on before I get out the train. Pull my own points. Ah, it's ridiculous. Right, so that one's now set correctly. Is the next one set correctly? The next one's set correctly as well. Right. I was determined to do this. And then we'll jump straight to the main line part, I think. Breaking every rule in the book. This is not how to drive. I'd want a shunter out there pulling those points for me. Yeah, I've been to the Bluebell quite a few times, but I haven't been there for a long while. I'll tell you how long I haven't been there for. I haven't been there since they opened to East Grinstead. So that's how long I haven't been to the Bluebell for. Doors. What about them? The door's open. I shouldn't be able to take power with the door open, in reality, in theory, but never mind. And... stop. Full service. Excellent. Well, other than the speeding. We still get a bronze medal, even though we were speeding for the entire journey. Continue. No, we don't want to continue to that. Should be like a continue to part 2. That would be really good. Right. Explore timetable 313. In the summer because I'm boring. Where are we? 1 hour 1. Lovers Walk to Selhurst Part 1. So I'm guessing that's the main part of the route there. Oh, we're doing the other way though, aren't we? We're doing Selhurst down. Selhurst to Lovers Walk, 42 minutes. Part 4. Right, we're skipping to part 4. Henry Yandel, I'm pretty confident it was a glitch. Yeah, we can pass it off as a glitch. There's lots of glitches, so we can definitely pass it off as a glitch. TM, I remember pushing points in Train Sim World 2. Don't know why it didn't here. Yeah, so we're not supposed to push through points in real life. So we never push through points in real life. It doesn't happen. It's not the done thing. Trust me on that. So we are at Selhurst. We've got a 6 car as well. Awesome. Red signal. Let's put a key in. Do the AWS switch. Into neutral. Hold it on brake step 1. We're going to put headlights on. DRA should be set as well because we're standing on a red signal. Doors should be closed. We've got interlocks, so they are. Is the signal going to change? Who would change the points in real life, or are they automated? Depends what depot you're in. Some depots you'll have automatic points if you've got a depot with signals in it. I believe some of the points in Selhurst are automated. Others are manual hand points, in which case it'll either be the driver or a shunter that does them. I'm not confident that this signal's going to clear, you know. I wonder if there's a glitch, and it's not. Let's try pressing SG. It's not doing anything. Definitely not doing anything. Don't forget the headlights. We've done the headlights, Fishbowl. I'm pretty sure we have. Let's try approaching the signal and seeing what happens. Try not to go into the off position. Louis, thank you for joining us. Right, let's press SG. Nothing's happening. This doesn't fill me with confidence, guys, that signal's going to clear. I think this might be buggy. Press tab. Contact signaler. Nothing's happening. May have to... Yeah, we'll try going a little bit closer. I'm beginning to think this is bugged out, though. I'll get as close as I dare. Yeah, see, the points are set against us as well. Yeah, I think we can... could be waiting for a train. Press 9 to look for one. Yeah, no, red signals around the corner. Red, red, red. Yellow, that wouldn't affect us unless he's going to cross over in front of us. Where is the train, though? All the way back there, sitting on a red. It could be since I got it for free. You never know. Oh, look, there's a train going across in front of me. Right, okay. I take it all back, Dovetail. You're forgiven. It works. So while we're waiting for that train to clear, let's jump into the Discord. Same pictures. If you do want to post anything in the live stream chat page on Discord, the link is in the description below. We are very slowly but surely getting the Discord server in order. I know there's a lot of issues in there at the moment, but we are, as British Rail would say, we are getting there. And we've got one yellow, so we can go. Release. Where am I? No, I've gone into off again. Right. This is really, really bad driving. Really bad driving. Yeah, Henry, looks like we're good. It looks like we're good. It will clear eventually. It did. We had faith and it did. Only one yellow, mind you. So, standard procedure departing on one yellows. We're not going to use more than power notch 2. That's something that would normally be mandated in your company's driving policy. You need to scroll down on the photos in Discord. It should automatically stay at the bottom, but being that I had to click on it earlier, let's have a little go, because I might not be at present day. I'm not at present day. That will be why. Right. There we go. Discord is working. Really bad driving from a real train driver. Yeah, Henry, I think it was my fault. I wasn't at the bottom of the Discord, so that's why it wasn't automatically scrolling down, unfortunately. Red ahead. This is a very dodgy signal if you're a freight driver, so you can see 1.9% gradient coming up to this. So you can be like, if you've got a heavy train on, you can literally be a notch 8 coming up to this signal. So you like, which as a former passenger driver, it's like kind of alien. You're like full power going towards a red signal. That's surely not normal. But yeah, you do that a lot in freight trains. ITZ Springs, what is your favourite train to drive? That would be Class 73, sir. Sir or madam, or yeah. We have someone called Boris Johnson who's just entered the Discord. Could that be the Boris Johnson? We are honoured by your presence, Mr. Johnson, I think. Now let's keep politics out of the Discord. Two yellows, we are off. So our red signal with 2 yellows there. I didn't set the DRA or anything. I'm really doing bad. 2 yellows on there means the red is just before the platform at East Croydon. And we're 40 mile an hour all the way around here. The Boris Johnson. Could be. He could be a secret train sim fan. That would explain a lot. That would explain a lot. We're trying not to get political. What's it like driving the Class 375 BG5 in real life? I used to like driving the 375s. Nice units to drive. Good brakes, accelerate nicely, comfortable, quiet, very reliable. From a driver's point of view, they're good units, definitely good units. So 2 yellows, last signal. I'm expecting red just before the platform at East Croydon. So I'm going to shut off and let her coast just about there. So there is our 1 yellow. We've got position indicator 1, which is taking us into platform number 6. Sorry. I've got brakes on as well, which explains a lot. So we got red just before the platform. Release your brakes. Guys, I really want, I know I say it every stream, I want joystick support so I haven't got to rely on pressing buttons. I hate pressing buttons. I find it so finicky because it's kind of like, and there's no clear indication on the HUD as to what you're doing. I mean, you've got like the brake cylinder pressure and bits and bobs, but it's not as clear as like looking at the numbers. There is a red ahead. This is really nice. You've actually got some cautionary signals. That was one of my biggest complaints actually in the London Commuter. You spend too much time running around on greens. It's really nice that you're actually following a service. In real life, it's a bloody nuisance. So we do the right procedure now. Be full service, DRA set into neutral when we've stopped at a red signal. Signallers do that a lot. As soon as you stop, they pull the road off. I mean, I know there was a train in front, so they are forgiven. But yeah. Dad Brown, remember the DRA? I done it. Personally, I find the keyboard commands work quite well. Fishbowl. Yeah, I'm not dead against them. It's just I find them a bit finicky. I find if you've got a joystick, it's just much easier. What's a 313 doing at East Croydon? Many years ago, when I started at Southeastern, I was on the platform at Tunbridge, and we actually sent red ahead. We sent a 508 down to Hastings, which I think is the first and only time that had ever happened. 1 yellow. Id Springs. Have you ever got caught an AWS ramp or DSD? Yes. Both. But never while I was driving passenger trains. It's only happened to me. It's only ever happened to me whilst driving freight trains. Normally because the cab's so noisy and you don't hear it. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. So 94 of you lovely people in the chat tonight. If you could press that like button and subscribe to me, that would be awesome. We are doing the 313 on the commuter, London commuter route going down to Montpelier siding. DC train spotting, hello there. No passengers to complain, I guess, yeah. Well, we're driving empty coaching stock now, so same applies. A little bit drop off in frame rate there. What are we getting? 44 FPS at the moment, which is not great. This signalling through here is incorrect as well. Coming down towards South Croydon, I've said it a few times, you'll get checked down onto a red, and the one at the end of South Croydon comes off right at the last minute with a position 4 platform, position 4 route indicator, so you wouldn't come through here on greens. This is what we were saying earlier about flashing yellows. The speed limit's 50 all the way through here, 50 then up to 60 I believe. If you were running through here at 60 mile an hour, you come to this signal with a junction indicator, you've got to be doing 20 going across the junction, you're not going to slow down in time. So that is why you get checked down onto a red, then the signal comes off. It's to make you slow down. But with flashing yellows, you know the junction signal's already set because you've had a flashing yellow, so you automatically slow down. We are 20, I just said that across the junction, so I probably need to slow down for that. Oh, we're 6 car as well, aren't we? DC Train Spotting, Richie, would you ever like to see a functioning GSMR in Train Sim World? I wonder what features you could actually add to the GSMR. I mean, we have the SG button, which works, and the on and off button that works. Some sort of registration system on this. You have to register the train would be really, really good. So we're on green signals. We're just waiting for the back end of the train to clear the junction, which it has done. She does look smart. I know I keep saying that, but she really does. I like the livery that these are in as well. I think Southern have done a pretty decent job with the livery. Anyway, we're up to 60, so let's drive it properly. There are passengers on a train. There is a bug with all the routes where passengers are on the train when they shouldn't be. Oh, okay. We'll pretend we're doing a rail tour into the sidings then. That covers that. It's creative license. Two yellows, red's just before Pearly. So I do sign this route in real life, as I'm sure you're all aware. So I've got no excuses for buggering it up. So, bearing in mind we're running on 2 yellows and I should be concentrating, I'm going to explain the difference between the SG and the ST button, which someone asked me earlier. SG button will ping the signalman. You press it when you're standing at a red signal. When you're at a stand, not when you're rolling approaching it. You do it when you've come to a stand, honestly. So, the SG button will send a ping to the signal box just to let them know you're standing on a red signal in case they've forgotten about you or gone to sleep, which never happens, of course, because they're always really busy with other trains. Drivers and signallers, it's a love-hate relationship. Yeah, and the signalman will either pull the road off or you'll get a message come back on the radio which says wait. So you're just basically informing the signaller of your presence at the track. The ST button, there's 2 times we use the ST button. If you receive an emergency stop on the radio, once you've brought your train to a stand, we're on green signals now, 60 mile an hour. Once you've brought your train to a stand, you would press the ST button. That then sends I believe that sends a message to the signalman, telling the signalman that you've come to a stand. The other time you use the ST button, Connor Nolan, welcome to Dad Rail. The other time you would use the ST button is if the signalman does what's called a safety broadcast message. So these are relatively new to the railway. They've only been around for the last maybe 4 or 5 years, and they are very useful and particularly underused, I believe. And the way a safety broadcast works is a signalman can set up, or signaller I should say, can set up a pre-recorded message on the GSMR network. So it could be that they've had reports of Lower Dijon approaching, where are we going to be going through? Approaching Colston South. So they've had reports from the previous train of Lower Dijon at Colston South. In olden days, in times not so long ago, they would have to stop you on the signal before, at danger, stop you and then talk to you. Now, of course, the risk is there. We've had reports of Lower Dijon and we're going to get you to stop on a red signal where there's Lower Dijon. So obviously there's a huge SPAD risk with that. So the idea of the safety broadcast is they can set up a pre-recorded message that automatically plays through your radio at a given point. So you'll go over a given like a trigger section on the track, and you'll get a the radio will go off and it'll say this is a pre-recorded message, and then you'll get the signaler's voice. This is the signaler at Three Bridges Rock. Just to let you know, we've had reports of low adhesion at Colston South. If you have fully understood this message, please acknowledge by pressing the ST button. And then if you've understood the message, what you do is you press the ST button on the radio, just there. It will come up on the screen, acknowledge, and then it will come up sent or acknowledge sent or something like that. And that pings the signaler to say that you have received and understood the message. So it saves them stopping the train. If you don't acknowledge the message, then you'll be checked down and stopped, just like you would on the old system. But it's a way of getting information to drivers, ensuring they've received it without having to stop them. So it's a really, really good system. Anyway, me rabbiting on, it's about time we got this train going. Fishbowl, have you ever had a signaler send you the wrong way or something? Yeah, one of my vlogs, the day I went the wrong way, will tell you all about that. At London Bridge. Jack Silkstone, a user spam pinged everyone in general. I'm sure the mods will be onto that. I hope the mods are onto that, but as soon as I get off the stream, Jack, I will look into that. We've got a few... we do have a few issues in the Discord, and we are working through them. It's mainly my fault for being completely incompetent in Discord. I fully hold my hands up to that. And we are slowly working through that, but the pings, I know the pings are a big problem. Hopefully they've settled down a bit, but yeah, we are working through that. So we are 75. This unit's only allowed to do 75. Be interesting to see if it's configured like that, or whether we can go over 75 without getting penalised for speeding. Geek Motto, looking into it now. Thank you very much. It could have been a genuine mistake as well. So with the ping, so we just need to bear that in mind and moderate gently. Oh, okay, that's really. Oh, the speed limit is 75, isn't it? So that's why we've been knocked out there. But it does go to 90 just around the corner. $69 likes. Fantastic. Let's see if we can get that up a little bit. Come on, guys, like and subscribe. Even if you don't like it, just hit the like button anyway. You know, you're here. You're still here. That was from a few days it's been dealt with. Okay, brilliant. Like I say, guys, we are working really hard in the Discord to try and get everything settled down and get everything under control. I know there's been issues with over moderation in there, and there's been issues with some of the users, and you know, some of the things we could have, you know, I say we, I take personal responsibility. Some of the things I could have handled better in there. And like British Rail used to say, we are getting there. It's causing me a great deal of stress, the Discord at the moment, and I'm very tempted to close it down. But I know once we get it sorted, it'll be all good, and we should be okay. So, chatting away, not driving properly, we're going into Merstham Tunnel. Try and get him to 420 likes. We haven't even got that many viewers in. 420 would be pretty awesome though. So let's check the cab light. Cab light is working. Cab light is working and looking good. Looking good. Right, so I want to see if we can go over 75 without the game wanting to just do me for speeding. Because of course this unit is limited to 75. No, it will let me go over 75. So will the unit chuck the emergency brakes in for overspeed? Driving under speed limit. We're driving under the limit, but not under the capabilities of the train. Fishbowl, British Rail, we're getting there. That's exactly what I said. Yeah, no, the train's not even going to throw me out, is it? So, in real life, this train would now have sent an email to my manager. My manager would have a notification saying that I'm speeding. So the train knows it's not allowed to go more than 75 miles an hour, so it would have automatically pinged my manager, and I'll be going back to a conversation. Speeding to that extent wouldn't be a mistake, that would be a deliberate act. In most cases. I mean, there might be extenuating circumstances, but I doubt it. Generally speaking, if you're 1 or 2 miles an hour over the limit, you realise you put the brakes on, it's not an issue. If you're constantly speeding, then it's not a mistake, it's deliberate. So ALD, have you ever had a safety system activation? Yeah, unfortunately I've had a couple of TPWS activations. I've had AWS, DSD, which is not great. But I mean, these things happen. We're only human at the end of the day. If you look at, I know someone said as well about calculating how many miles you've done in real life or estimate it. I wouldn't know where to start, to be honest with you. It'd be thousands, hundreds of thousands possibly. But if you look at the number of signals we go past, the number of AWS ramps in sort of even a year, then the rate of error is really, really low. It's probably like less than sort of 0.01%. So, I mean, we all make mistakes. We're all humans. You just try not to beat yourself up too much over it. So we are coming down towards Red Hill. Don't forget the 70, of course. I've got the camera sway turned up too high as well. I need to turn that down a bit. All of these diagrams are based on weekend workings with southeastern diversions, of course. We're coming into Red Hill. Least said the better. I've made my opinions on Red Hill and Reigate quite clear, so I'm not going to bang on about that. Dan H, do you ever work with TPWS4? Yes, some of our locos are fitted with TPWS4. Incidentally, Dan, all of the AWS activations I've had, I think I've had 2 or 3, have been in TPWS Mark IV fitted locomotives because they've reduced the amount of time you've got to cancel it. And it's a bit of a nightmare, if I'm being honest. I don't think it's long enough. I think the old standard was good. I think the new one's a little bit on the strict side. So we're coming into Ellswood. Ellswood. It is Ellsfield, isn't it? It is Ellsfield. Going too fast. I signed this through. I should know that. It's been a long day. Henry Yandel, it's a shame you don't have logbooks like pilots. No, Henry, but I've got my logbook from when I was training to be a pilot, when I've done my lesson. Dan H, it is still 2.7 seconds. Now, I believe, Dan, it's been reduced to 1.8 seconds on Mark IV. I'll need to double check that. Ellswood, yeah, thanks, Andy. I need to double check that. But I believe it's been reduced to 1.8 seconds on Mark IV. Started something in the chat now. Ellswood, no wood, Ellswood. There's an Ellsfield somewhere else. Have you ever wanted to drive on HS1 DC train spotting? I'm not particularly fussed about driving on HS1, but I'd like to have the rule knowledge of HS1. I'd like to understand the TVM a bit better and all the in-cab signalling stuff. So driving on it doesn't bother me, but I'd really like to sort of just go through the training course. Oh, fantastic! Being overtaken by 387. I like that a lot. I do. Salfords. Right on the edge of the platform. Why is HS1 in kilometres an hour, not miles per hour? Kilometres an hour is the standard in Europe, and because HS1 was built to European standards with in-cab signalling TVM, I believe that's why it's in kilometres an hour, not miles an hour. So we're running downhill pretty much all the way into Gatwick, so we can more or less let it coast in. I might need to give it a little bit of power as we get closer. William Newton heading off now. See you. Thank you very much, William. If you haven't already, before you go, hit the like button. It's a race to beat the 387. Shall we? I tell you what. Look, we're having a bit of fun. We're not driving properly. Let's see if we can get ahead of the 387. Full open. We're not even accelerating. Come on. We're waiting for the cam to wind up. That's why it takes so long to accelerate. Like I said, when we take power, we're not applying power directly to the motors. We've got a camshaft that's rotating. So when we take power, we've got to wait for the cam to go through its system and build the power up. Yeah, see, he should be doing he or she, the driver on that 387, the AI on the 387, is 90 down here, but presumably it's going to stop at 70 through Hawley. Presumably it's going to stop at Gatwick. I don't want to derail, so I am going to. We've had one derail today. I don't want another. Whee! 387 versus 313. I wonder who has the advantage. I tell you what, if I was in a class 73 light locomotive, I would have the advantage. Quite simply because they are speedy. R2D2 on the 387. When this baby hits 88, you're going to see some serious stuff. Love it. See, we won! We won! Whee! SJA, all this southern content makes me want a South London network and a 465 for Train Sim World. 455 for Train Sim World, sorry. Yeah, I was going to say with 465 we already have. 455, I think a lot of people would like to see a 455 so we can do a lot of the London suburban services on this route. Eat my third rail, Sparks 387. So while we're on this rather boring bit of road, let's put the Discord up. 73.9, is that Dick my butt though? That is the that is the big question. And a 172, Chiltern 172. And I can't scroll up unfortunately on the stream, so what you see is what you get. If you want to post over there as well, guys, link is in the description below. If you do head over there, though, be prepared for pings and other sorts of stuff because we are still working on getting it sorted, as I said earlier. But you're still more than welcome to join. They're a pretty good bunch over there. The 465 is not AI only. If you've got the South Eastern High Speed, there are 465 services in the South Eastern High Speed, and we had a go on those a couple of weeks ago. So if you look for the South Eastern High Speed stream that I've done, you will find those. Fishbowl, thanks very much for joining us, mate. I've heard 455s occasionally go to Brighton. I saw a 455 today. Where did we go today? Where did we go today, Mum Rail? Real name Danny, but we went to Southampton. Where would I have seen? We got some sliding going on there by the looks of it. That's interesting. Where did I see? Was it today or yesterday? I saw a 455 somewhere strange. Yeah, Henry, the backstory to that is I believe it was Brush Tractions, one of their chief engineers was called Dick Mabbott. And that's why the loco was named after him because he passed away. Richard the Train Spotter and more. Dadra, how are the extra rules coming along? Do you mean in regards to the Discord server, Richard? In which case we are in constant conversation and we are seriously working on that. Today's been better. Today's been better. Two yellows, reds at Bognor Tunnel Junction. So I'm just going to shut off the power and let her roll. Dan H, looking at documentation TPWS4. From the first cautionary aspect after clear aspects, you have 2.7 seconds to cancel. The next cautionary aspect, you will only have 2 seconds to cancel. Okay, I didn't know that actually, Dan. That's really good information. I bet half the drivers at my depot don't know that either. Yeah, no, I didn't know that. Thank you. Definitely learning something here. Slothy, a Discord server is not an easy thing to set up. No, I'm learning that the hard way. It's caused. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna bowl my heart out now. But I've spent quite a few years kind of building my YouTube channel and stuff. And it's only recently that it's got a little bit of traction, if you'll pardon the pun. yeah, it's only recently it's got a little bit of traction. I've kind of set the Discord server up, and everything's not going as I would like it to, and it's kind of really stressing me out because obviously what happens in there reflects on me, and how it's moderated and stuff like that, and that reflects on me a lot, which I'm quite conscious of. So quite cautious of, cautious both. So it's been causing me a lot of stress trying to get that sorted. Part of me just wants to say, do you know what, just close it down, it's too much hassle. But then the guys that are in there using it properly and obeying all the rules and everything, green, off we go. We get some really good content, really good conversation. There's lots of learning points and stuff that go on. So, generally speaking, it's got a lot of potential and it's got a lot of legs. It's just getting all these issues sorted out. And I think the biggest problem with it was when I set it up, I was completely naive to how Discord worked, and I thought, oh yeah, we just get a few people in a little community and we all talk about trains and post pictures and everyone's really friendly and it's nice. And then we got someone or a bot come in and started spamming everyone, and it kind of just went downhill from there, really. So it's kind of taken a little bit of time and a little bit of work getting the right moderators in place, getting the right community managers, making sure we're not over moderating on there. Bits and bobs like that to just kind of bring it up to standard. And it's not there yet. It's not there yet. I'll be honest with you. I've kind of rushed a few things through, and it hasn't worked, and now I'm paying the price, basically. So yeah, you keep using the British Rail model. We are getting there, and I am trying really, really hard. Because, like I say, it can be such a great place for everyone. Yeah, Slothy, if you're new, I recommend to get someone that has experience. I'm not sure if you have a person like that. Yeah, I've had lots of people offer me help, some of which I've accepted, some of which I've accepted that they've been really helpful, and some of which I've accepted and they've added to the problems. So, yeah, it's like you say, getting someone I know in is the big thing there, isn't it? But yeah, we've got kind of a team that we're working with now, and I think we're hopefully getting there. There's still issues and there's still things we need to work through, but hopefully we're gonna get that resolved. Over 100 viewers, good job! Come on, like and subscribe, guys. Let's see if we can get up to 100 likes. Even if you don't like it, just click the like button anyway. 108 people in today. We are going through Balcombe Tunnel on the Dovetail Games 313. My name is Richard, aka Dadrail. I am if you've not seen my videos before, which I'm sure you have, I'm a real-life train driver, driving freight trains at the moment. Former passenger train driver. Do not sign the Class 313. I've never driven a 313, but I do sign this route down to Brighton. So any mess-ups, then I've got no excuse. Well, we go for the default excuse. The game was buggy. That one always works. If you want somewhere a bit more relaxed than Discord without all the drama, you can follow me on my social media, facebook.com/Dadrail, twitter.com/Dadrail. Loving the Free State banner of beta there. I'm speeding ever so slightly because we're only supposed to be doing 75 in this unit and we're doing 76, but crikey, 93 likes, we only need 7 more. Right, I'm spamming now, something we're not allowed to do in the Discord server. I'm spamming that like and subscribe button. Let's get it up to 100, guys. Come on. Even if you don't like it, just press it anyway. Mumrail's going to do it. Mumrail, you have to like the stream. The Panther, welcome to Dadrail. Jan, if you're in the stream, which I very much doubt, then as soon as I finish Bud, I will be right with you. I won't say anything else about it here. Richard the Train Spotter. Oh no, how are you doing? That's not for me. You're talking to each other. Brilliant. Makes my job easier. 101, 100, 105 likes. Is that likes? Is that likes or viewers? Likes or viewers? Pete 888 UK, I think, yeah, that is a London commuter route bug. We've had problems with the 387 and the 377 where the AWS haven't sounded. Sam Brooks, really good question about whistleboards there. Let's check the Ouse Valley Viaduct. She is beautiful. She's very beautiful. I need to work out how free camp is. Yeah, whistleboards, we have something called the nighttime quiet period. 2 yellows. Let's get some braking because the signals close up a bit here in real life. Yeah, we have something called the nighttime quiet period. So it used to be you only sounded your horn between 7 in the morning and 11 at night. Outside of those hours, you ignored whistleboards completely. Now they've changed it so you only sound your whistle between 6 in the morning and midnight. Or I could put it another way, you don't sound the horn between midnight and 6 in the morning. So yeah, whistleboards that time of night, you completely ignore them. But if you see people on the track or anything like that, then you still sound your horn. We definitely need to get some more braking, otherwise we're going to SPAD. Hashtag SPADrail. We don't want to be doing that. Do you get action taken if you never whistle at one? Yeah, it would show up on your download. If there's a whistleboard and you haven't blown the horn, then you would be pulled up on that. The reason being, the whistleboard's there for a reason, normally because there's a foot crossing or something like that. If you didn't sound your horn, someone walked out on that first foot crossing and you mowed them down, you're going to be in court over that and you're probably going to get locked up. Because that would be your fault, basically. So yeah, you are picked up on that. That is monitored. Red ahead. Interestingly enough, I'm told the Ardingly branch, if you go down there on free cam, it is modelled, but I don't think we've got any timetable services down there. I mean, the Brighton main line is chock-a-block full of timetable services, and obviously we've got a few more with the 313s in there. Yeah, no, the timetable on this thing is mental. Paul Flynn, what is your plan for the next stream? I'm still debating what to do on the next one. A few people have asked for some open BVE, so I am tempted. We should be doing 20 at the magnet. I'm in breach of the driving policy. Get some brakes in. I'm tempted to do a bit of open BVE on the next one. If I don't do open BVE, then we might go back to doing some Train Sim Classic. I think with the open BVE, I would quite like to do the Cross City South on the open BVE and then do the Cross City on Train Sim Classic. Do like a compare and contrast sort of video. But I'm completely open to suggesting, guys. Cornwall mainline. Yeah, completely open to suggestions. So if there's anything in particular you'd like to see, then I'm definitely up for giving it a go. So full service, into neutral, and DRA set. So we've got 13 miles, guys, which should be about 15-20 minutes, and we'll be at the end of the stream. Beautiful 37 at the bottom there. Got no idea what the one in the middle is. Looks a bit like Watford Junction Station though, doesn't it? I don't know where it is, but it just kind of reminds me of Watford Junction. Like I say, guys, if you're just joining us and you want to jump into the Discord, link is in the description below. Yeah, I won't keep going on about it. Watch about 10 minutes ago on the stream and you'll hear me rabbiting on about Discord, having a bit of a whinge and bit of a moan. What button are we pressing? That one. Right, let's hit the SG button. Proceed as signals indicate. 1 yellow. Yeah, see, that's very prototypical. You press the SG button and the signal clears. Very prototypical. DRA off, release the brakes, wait for the brakes to come off, and then take power notch. Should be taking power notch 1. Gone a bit too far there. 1 yellow, red around the corner. Reds are always round the corner. If you're driving a train and someone says, where's the red? Just say round the corner because you're normally right. Have you ever driven the Cornwall line, or what's the furthest left you have gone? Furthest left. I like that. West. Furthest west I've gone in real life would be down to Loo, but that wasn't on the train, that was by car. Furthest west I've been by train would be... I'm ashamed to say this, but it would actually be... Southampton Western Docks is the furthest west I've ever been on a train. So we've got red at the end of the platform as it stands now. Really nice getting some cautionary signals and having to kind of drive to the signals. It's nice to see that on here. One yellow at the end. So I'm going to keep the speed down driving on yellows. As a train driver, I don't like yellow signals. I want greens. All the time I've got yellows, I need to be monitoring my speed and there's risk involved. If I'm running on greens, then the risk of spad has basically disappeared. There we go, green. So if I'm running on yellows, I will tend to moderate my speed to allow the train in front to get away, get enough distance. Bad driving by me there, straight into notch 4. Yeah, to get enough distance between me and the train in front so I go back to running on green signals. So I just want to say a huge thank you to all my Patreons if you're in tonight, and to my new Patreon. Your name doesn't come up on my screen for some reason. I get a little animation, but I don't get a name, so it's something I need to fix in the stream. But if you want to support me on Patreon, guys, I'll just find out what the deal is over there. Patreon.com/dadrail. I feel like at some point as well, I know I've said it before, but I'm going to have to do a video explaining why Dad Rail is called Dad Rail. Because I've got a lot of new subscribers who might not have seen my old content. I've gone over it a couple of times, but I feel like I need a dedicated video to explain the name. I am a dad and I drive trains and I like railways, but it goes a little bit deeper than that. So yeah, I kind of feel like I need a dedicated video to explain that. Imagine a multiplayer where we could all get train and dad rail drives. Called Getting a Train and Dad Rail Drives. That would be fun. Yeah, I mean the rail sim video that I don't know if you were in when I done the Isle of Wight one. Immediately after that, we had a little go with rail sim. I deleted the video because, to be honest with you, it was pretty atrocious. I should have kept it for sort of nostalgic purposes, but no. Rail sim has a multiplayer mode where you have drivers and dispatchers. So when they get that working, I'll be very interested to have a play with that. Pete888UK enjoyed the video in Wales. Thanks, Pete. So yeah, as well as these live streams, guys, if you've only seen my live streams, I'm a real life train driver. I've got a train driver vlog series where I sort of talk about what it's like being a train driver, all the sort of ups and downs of it. I can only say as much as I'm allowed to say in those as well, because obviously I'm limited by company social media policies and the like, but you can go back and check through those. I also do a few kind of out and about Jeff Marshall kind of style videos, I want to say. So I done one in Wales at the Brecon Mountain Railway where we went there with a family, had a little ride on the train. I've done sort of some train spotting videos down in Dawlish and places like that. And rather than just put the videos of the trains on, I kind of like to present it in my own unique style a little bit, have a little bit of banter, a little bit of conversation. So rather than just the trains going past, it's like, oh yeah, this is what we're doing, that's what that is, and you know, just kind of make it a little bit more entertaining. So there's some kind of videos in Portugal that we've done. There's some UK train spotting videos. There's some train driver vlogs. There's some model railway content, although that's quite old now. My first video ever, believe it or not, Brighton Model World 2016 was my first Dad Rail video ever. It says in the beginning of the video, it says, "Welcome to the first ever Dad Rail video," and that video's been up since like 2016, my first ever video, and it's had less views than what most of my streams get after about 2 days, which is just ridiculous. So what I'm saying, guys, is yeah, go and watch the back catalogue. If you get really bored, just go and check out the back catalogue. Red clears to 1 yellow. AWS. Henry Yandel, have you ever been on the footplate of a steam locomotive? I've had a few offers that I've been unable to take up, unfortunately, but I would very much like to go on the footplate of a steam engine. Red ahead, approaching Burgess Hill. Ian, we are in the Class 313, the new Class 313C 6-car train. We've got a red signal ahead of us, so I'm quite conscious, and we're just coming towards Burgess Hill on the London Commuter, doing the Selhurst to Montpelier siding route. Earlier on in the stream, we've done it on the East Coastway as well. I don't know what service this is. Does it tell us? It tells us somewhere, doesn't it? But I can never find it. Is it in the timetable? I'm sure it tells us somewhere. No, okay. Nationwide Coin Hunt. Happy late 5th year YouTube anniversary. Thank you very much. So platform board should sort of say train not stopping, you know, stand clear or something like that. Rafe, there's some new pictures on the train stream pics. On the live stream pics. Let's head over there and have a look. So just trying to work out where they are. The bottom one's Tunbridge Wells, 375s. The top one is definitely Tunbridge. That's the Green Goddess 1001 thumper. And the middle one, I think that's Victoria with the 701, Southeastern 701. 707. 707. Right, we are off. Let's press that button there. No, wrong one. That one there. Let's go. One yellow, and I'm going to end up spadding now because I was talking to Mum Rail about something. Let's get some brakes in really quickly. Stephen Roulege. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but welcome to Dad Rail. Welcome to Dad Rail. You join us just as we're about to have a spad. Hashtag missing rail. Muted rail. I'm back. Sorry, I have Mum Rail sitting next to me. I think that camera's still frozen, isn't it? Yeah, that one's frozen. So we don't have Mum Rail cam. She's laying down next to me actually. She's monitoring the Discord, which has become a full-time job at the moment. One yellow. Off we go. Can we get a time for Mum Rail? Let's get likes for Mum Rail. If you haven't already, like the video. Likes for Mum Rail. Likes for Mum Rail. She's NHS staff, so she deserves it. Oh no, it's all going wrong. Yeah, I tell you where we went wrong. We started. That's where it started going wrong. I thought he nearly spadded. Yeah, it was actually Flying Gamer. I was reading your message. So we're running down the Brighton Main on one yellows, and this is where it's kind of really easy in real life because you're going along slow. It's really easy to get distracted and have incidents and spads and stuff like that. So it's where your concentration level needs to come up a little bit when you're running under cautionary signals. LNER train fan, do you think this route is boring non-stop for like 40 minutes? If it was green signals all the way, I'd say yes, it would be. But because we've got the cautionary signals and we're following something, it kind of gives it something a bit extra, in my opinion. Pivot Tech, hello. Joe Burgess, 5 Bravo 90. If that's what service you're saying it is, because it doesn't show me on the timetable, which is quite strange. The legend himself, indeed. Discord pictures. We'll get into Clayton Tunnel because Clayton Tunnel looks nice. We'll get into Clayton Tunnel, then I'll put the Discord up. Please remind me what the SP means in SPAD. Signal passed. Signal passed at danger. Pete 888 driving non-stop for 40 minutes. I'm sure Richard is used to that. No, I drive freight trains, Pete. We're always stuck behind passenger trains that stop everywhere. Driving 40 minutes non-stop is a luxury. For the routes I drive, it's a luxury. Bellafon Productions, hello. Is part of being a train driver needing to know the phonetic alphabet? Yeah, you absolutely need to know the phonetic alphabet. Should we revise the phonetic alphabet? Who wants to revise the phonetic alphabet? Clayton Tunnel, there we go. She looks lovely. Right, Discord as promised. Voyager versus Meridian versus 47. We've got a thing in the Discord called Spot Drive Scrap, where you have to pick, you post 3 pictures and then decide which one you would spot, which one you'd like to drive and which one you'd like to scrap. Spot Drive Scrap on those. Spot the Voyager, drive the 47, scrap the Meridian. That's my answer. That's my answer. That one. Nationwide Coin Hunt, thank you for your donation. Have you ever had a terror-related incident? Not... Okay, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about this, really. During the Olympics, we all had to do terrorist training, if you like. Kind of, obviously, I can't say too much about this because I'll get told off. What to do in that kind of event. And we had things like what to do if someone's running around with a gun, you know, how to protect yourselves, what events you should take. And there's certain phrases and language that you need to use when you speak to the police. I'm not going to repeat, I'm not going to say what they are here for obvious reasons. The only thing I ever had happen to me, which was a bit suspicious, was when I was working as a member of platform staff at Tunbridge. There was a member of the public come up to me and started asking me questions like, is London safe, and you know, what should I do if something happens, and lots of kind of weird, suspicious questions. And so your training kind of kicks in and you're thinking, well, this doesn't ring right, you know, why is this person asking me these questions? So I reported that to my supervisor, who then decided it warranted a British Transport Police report. And British Transport Police actually met the individual off the train when it got to London. It turned out to be nothing, but my suspicions were aroused a little bit. So that's kind of the only thing I've had in that respect. Again, there's a little bit more to it than that, but I can't go into too much detail. Even for £1.79, I can't go into too much detail. But thank you very much appreciated. That shall go towards buying a beer. Well, down in London you won't get a beer for that, but in Sussex you will. Which is where I am, so that's good. Patcham Tunnel. So, something I found out from a comment on one of my other videos, which is something I really should have known. The 75 warning board that we're about to get, the 75 commencement board just outside the tunnel, if you check in the sectional appendix, which is our kind of route map book, the 75 doesn't actually start until you get to the other end of the tunnel, just before the bend. So you can actually still be doing 90 through the tunnel. There's a couple of places like that. Sevenoaks is like that as well. Part of Sussex, Hastings, but not for long because I'm moving soon. Somewhere with a faster internet connection, hopefully. 2 yellows. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Bellafon Productions. Yeah, that can't be nice at all. Did somebody say beer? Where's my drink? I'm half tempted to kind of... No, that's a really silly idea. I was going to say I should just get like really drunk and then do a stream, but I'd end up saying something that would get me sacked. I quite like the idea of seeing how well I'd do. Like, do a run sober and then do a run drunk and kind of compare the difference. But I'd end up saying something that I shouldn't say. I end up getting sacked, so that's not a good idea. Talking of read ahead, talking of being drunk, I saw today in the metro the incident at Enfield when the train went through the buffer stops, that apparently the drug test, the driver had cocaine in his system, which means you're out of a job straight away. I mean, I don't know if that was the sole cause of it. There could have been other causes, but if the drug screens come back positive for cocaine, then you're in trouble. Definitely in trouble. Let's get some brakes in. 20 for the AWS magnet. Yeah, so it could have been that the train. It could have been that the brakes had failed on the train. You know, but because the driver's been tested and he's got that substance in his system, you're going to be out of a job regardless of what the cause was. Dadrail, did you say you would buy everyone a beer the other day? I tell you what, everyone who joins me on Patreon, I'll personally buy you a beer when I see you. How does that sound? I can't say fairer than that, can I? I can't say fairer than that. Right, 2 white lights going into the sidings. What is the fastest you have driven? There's a little bit of a story behind that as well. I think I made a vlog about it, but when I was with Southeastern, I got accused of doing 103 miles an hour. A passenger actually, the speed limit was 100 coming out of Sevenoaks Tunnel, and I was doing 100. And a passenger went on Twitter with a phone app and was like, oh, put something like, #Southeastern, in a hurry tonight, driver doing 103 out of Sevenoaks Tunnel. And my company picked up on it. And I got pulled in the office over it and asked questions. Anyway, they'd done a download on the train, and I was doing 99.7. Completely and utterly innocent. Was not speeding. So I asked the company to... Oh, no, actually... declaration and all that, I'm not going to say any more than that, because that wouldn't be a good idea. And I'm not drunk, and I'm saying too much. But yeah, no, I got accused by a passenger with an app of doing 103 miles an hour, and I was doing 99.7. So, yeah. Noah Hunt, is it possible that brakes could fail if you are going at full line speed? Generally speaking, Noah, I mean, anything's possible, of course, but things are designed to fail safe. That is that if they fail, they should fail in a safe state. So normally if the brakes are going to fail, if you're going to get an air leak or something like that and the brakes are going to fail, the brakes will actually fail hard on. So for example, if the main res air pressure leaks off or anything like this on these trains or locos, the brakes will come hard on. On a freight train, you actually have to maintain positive air pressure to release the brakes. So to have the brakes full on, they need to be charged to 5 bar. So if you lose air pressure, the brakes will actually apply. So yeah, everything is designed to fail safe. It's not to say it can't happen, because of course it can, but it's designed not to. Richard the Train Spotter, I just became a Patreon earlier when you didn't know who it was. If you're telling the truth, Richard, then thank you very much. If you're not, then you could become one now. Someone's become a Patreon. So someone has pressed the magic button and become a Patreon. I say I've got this little animation thing that kind of comes up down there, but it doesn't give me a name because I haven't set it up right. So whoever that was, thank you so much. If I ever see you, I owe you a beer, and we are going to look at doing some community meetups because a few people have asked that in the summer. If ever I meet you, I owe you a beer. In Weatherspoons. Maybe a half. That wasn't part of the deal, was it? To be fair, there is a chance you were doing 103 if the speedometer isn't that accurate. Now, the speedometers in the 375s are very well calibrated. To the extent where every time the train goes on the wheel lathe and the wheels are turned, the speedos are recalibrated. So I would trust the speedo on the train over someone's GPS phone app, to be completely honest with you. All the shunt signals taking us in. Someone wants that pint, yeah, definitely. Saw Spoons is at 99p. 99p a beer, wow. That is ridiculous. I'll be happy with a Diet Cola. Of course, yes, we have people in the chat who are not yet of an age where they can drink. So soft drinks are available. Ah, shunting is so boring. And I'll tell you what else I've done wrong. We come into the depot, so we should be on marker lights only. Shunting in depot, marker lights only. That is to stop you blinding people on the ground at night. Yeah, that on an exam is when the wheels are measured, you say, Dan. And the My Track actually sometimes comes up, speedo calibration required, and it'll ask you to coast at like a certain speed for so long. Uncouple vehicles. Oh, okay. I didn't know we could uncouple vehicles. I had no idea we could do that. Well, let's go and I'll tell you what. Let's do this properly. Full service. DRA set. I don't know what's opened the doors, but we'll leave it anyway. Into neutral. Key out. Please come out. Am I in neutral? Maybe I'm not in neutral. Into off. Sorry. My bad. Right, keys out. We'll put tail lights on as well. Tail lights. And we'll take the AWS out as well. Right, so we go up to the other end of the train and to see what happens. RTTAM. I'm not sure what your YouTube username is, but thank you very, very much. Mum Rail is now showing me the message. Really appreciate that, bud, and I shall be in contact with you right as soon as the stream is finished. Yeah, Noah, if you're going out on the depot straight onto the main line and you're not for shunting, would you just use the markers? Yeah, use the markers while you're in the depot. As soon as you get on the main line, as soon as you get past the exit on the main line, put your headlights on. So where does it want me to go to uncouple? Does it want me to go outside? High vis on. But it wants me to go somewhere. Into this cab. Okay, this is interesting. Right, so presumably I'm going to have to do this from in the cab. So this is a tight lock coupler, so it should be a pretty straightforward procedure to do this. So I'll do it how I would do it in real life on a networker. AWS on. Key in. Into neutral. Ah, that makes sense. Right, I've just, yeah. Richard the train spotter and more. Got ya. Completely with you now. Thank you very much, bud. Right. Wait for a moment. Yeah, normally you might have to push on to get the coupling open. Stop at location Montpelier 5. Hey? It's taking me all over the place. Okay, well technically I'm not uncoupled, am I? So technically I kind of need to... Oh, crikey, where's the brakes? That shot off. Wasn't expecting that. Right, definitely uncoupled now. Off. Key. We want to make sure we put lights on as well now we've uncoupled. Tail lights are on. AWS out. Right, so where are we going? I'm determined to finish this scenario. Yeah, Noah, there's no set time to switch between day and night. It's just more or less sort of whenever you feel the need to. And literally all I've got to do is drive this train to there, and hopefully I'm finished. It's good to see you've got some uncoupling action. It's not prototypical, but it's good to see anyway. I'm going to try doing this without the AWS. Because on a Class 73 locomotive, when you get in the cab, you have to switch the AWS on by a handle at the back. I'm assuming it's the same on this, which is why I've been doing it. Why won't they let me sit in the seat? Do you want to leave service? No, I don't. Dismiss. Okay, we'll do it without sitting in the seat then. Into forward, DRA off. Yeah, so maybe I have got to do the AWS switch in these as well. Release the brakes is helpful. Why can't I release the brakes? We've got no key on at the back. There's no reason the brakes shouldn't come off. I didn't want to sit in the comfy chair anyway. No, absolutely. So I'm not quite sure what's going on here and why I can't get the brakes off. They just don't want to cut. Ah, doors. Let's try. No, we've got door interlock. TPWS lights are all lit up. Okay, I've already done that. Brakes are going to release now, maybe. Nope. The brakes do not want to release. Try it from the other end. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Maybe I've done something at the other end, which isn't quite right. Let's run up and have a look. All I want to do is finish the scenario. Oh, could be because we didn't press uncouple from this cab. Ah, okay. Maybe we need to press uncouple from this cab because, for example, the cover. Well, the cover should have gone up on its own. Maybe the drum, what's called the drum switch, is in the wrong position. Can we get brake release on this end? Oh, I've still got the AWS in at the other end. Oh, I see. Is it like the next part of the scenario or something? Is that what I'm missing? That would make sense. Right, let me shut down this. I thought it was taking me into a different scenario. Let me shut down this end. And I'll try it that way then. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, guys. Close. Whatever. Yeah, no, if that's like the next final part of the scenario, that kind of makes sense then. I don't know why they've done that and why they've put it as a separate part. That seems a bit strange. So... Ah, there we go. Brakes are off. She does take off. Is that literally it? We have to have a whole separate timetable section for that. That's a bit weird. Does the Class 73 have an auto brake system? Yes, it's got an EP brake and an Westinghouse auto brake on it. Yeah, no, pressing begin worked. Is it expected to move back? All that for 10 yards. Yeah, no, seems pretty pointless, if you want my opinion. But there we go. Right, 106 of you lovely people in the chat. We've been going for 2.5 hours. Mum Rail is looking really, really bored. So I am going to wrap it up there, guys. If you haven't already, please do smash that like button and consider subscribing to Dad Rail for more content like this. There we are in the Discord. Few people posting away there. Thank you very much to everyone over there. If you're not in the Discord already, link in the description below. I think I can say with Discord at the moment, enter at your own risk. Go back through the stream and you'll kind of know what I'm going on about with that. But yeah, there we go, guys. Thanks very much for joining us. Let me know what you'd like to see in the next one. I'm tempted to do Open BVE, or I might do... I've done London Commuter to death. I've done it so many times. I might try Cathcart Circle, or have a word with Dovetail and see if they'll let me have the Cornwall route. We can have a go on that. But yeah, thanks very much to my new Patreons tonight. I'll be in contact with you straight after the stream is finished. And yeah, like I say at the end of all of them, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Create, share, and inspire. And I'm going to press the right button this time. That one. No! That's the wrong button. That is the wrong button. If you missed the beginning of the stream, that's what it looks like. Anyway, cheers guys. Good night. There's like 73 people still here. Hello to the 73 people still watching. Yeah, there's no more content, I promise. It's not like a Marvel film where you have to kind of watch the credits. Anyway, cheers guys, good night.